Hello and welcome to the Codex Prime podcast. We are on episode 104 and it is Tuesday, January 9th, 2018. Yes, the first episode of the new year. I am your host, Victor Omoyo, and with me as always is my co-host and social media chair, Carl Bird.
Hey. What's going on, everybody?
Yeah, man. Yeah, we're bringing in the new year just right. We were coming off our 2-week hiatus. You know, we had to take that break, after bringing that consistent hot podcast fire in 2017. But we are back, refreshed and recharged and ready to get down on some nerd culture goodness and magic and awesomeness and delightfulness. It's going to be wonderful. Yes. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
Yo, you're really killing my vibe, Carl.
I know. I'm being a jerk. No, it's great. It's great to be back though. After 2 weeks, actually like being able to sleep in on a Tuesday. Mm-hmm. No more triples.
Oh, okay. Fine.
Down to doubles.
Very good. Very good.
No, it felt good to get that rest, but I'm ready to get back on the grind, ready to get back into doing what I love doing, and that's recording this damn podcast.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And it's great to be back, and we've got some big plans this year for the podcast.
Oh, we do. We ain't telling y'all nothing, but just yet, but we definitely do.
Oh yes, all in due time. All in due time. Yeah, and for today we're going to be talking about a whole bunch of stuff we've been doing during our 2-week hiatus, like stuff we've watched, stuff we've played, books we've read, like things like that, things we've gotten into the pop culture firmament, as well as some other things, as well as some other nerd headlines this week as well. And on that note, first, before we get into the podcast, I do want to say a big thanks to all of our listeners and all of our friends who have supported us, our show, the Codex Prime podcast, especially since it became a 2-man group with Carl and I since last May. And you guys have showed us plenty of love and support, and we hope to provide even more great content for you all. So thank you very much for tuning in every week, joining in on the chat, sending emails, just spreading love. It's great.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I was not expecting you to say that.
Really?
I'm kind of glad you did, though.
Of course.
I'm glad you did.
Of course. I mean,
I definitely appreciate it. Like whenever I hear somebody tell me that they watch the podcast, I'm like, fuck yeah, you do. Thank you.
Yeah. It's an awesome feeling, and it's awesome, just nerding out every Tuesday, So yeah, I mean, we have plenty to nerd about as well. So, with that said, Carl, let's begin with you. What have you been up to as of late?
Well, first of all, since I kind of hanging with my girlfriend a lot, I watched a lot of Moana, a lot of Lilo and Stitch, a lot of Finding Dory. I can't stand them damn movies now. Still don't understand why you cried.
You did Finding Dory?
Yeah, I didn't.
Really?
Maybe because I did not pay attention to the movie like whatsoever.
Well, I mean, Finding Dory. I mean, well, in the beginning, when she was a kid, and then she lost her parents.
So what's the problem?
She didn't die or anything, but she actually got separated from them and she couldn't find a way back to her parents. And she was
the problem.
And she was a young child. She was a young little fish. Like, hi, my name is Dory. I have short-term memory loss. And then she had short-term memory loss, and then she couldn't tell people where her parents were. And then if you could,
so what's the problem?
You have no soul, man.
Pretty much now.
And you call me dark.
But hold on. No, you're dark, though.
Come on, I am not as dark.
What did you say when we was talking about Avengers Infinity War?
I listen. I said that when Avengers Infinity War comes out this May, I want to see tears in the eyes of children, okay?
And that's coming from somebody who cries at Finding fucking Dory.
Well, listen, man. I mean, Pixar...
Coco. I actually saw a meme where it just said, like, this is you when you're watching Coco, and it's just people crying. I'm like, these people are a bunch of softies. Like,
no.
What the hell?
Listen, I've explained it thoroughly on this podcast. And when you watch Coco, when that song "Remember Me" hits, woo! I mean, not a dry eye in that theater. And I trust him. When I buy that film on Blu-ray and add it to my collection, I will have a box of Kleenex ready again because, man, that film really got to me. Lion King did not get to me that way. Aladdin did not get to me that way.
I'm gonna be honest with
Beauty
you.
and the
Lion
Beast
King,
did not
I was
get to me that
motivated
way.
like a motherfucker. I was like, man, I can't wait to be king.
Oh yeah. I mean, well, Lion King it's a great film, and I can't wait for the remake. But
Yeah, I'm so amped up for that. I'm so amped up for that remake.
yeah, you know. Oh, speaking of Disney remakes, did you hear about the news about the live action remake of Aladdin? How Disney is under a little bit of trouble for browning up their white extras.
I saw the headline, but I was busy doing something that I didn't get a chance to like read it. I didn't get a chance to read into it.
Yeah, apparently, like Disney, like, well, because they've hired, I guess, Middle Eastern actors and other actors of color, brown actors, and so what they did was, in order to fill out some of their scenes, they hired some white actors and put them in brown makeup, brown skin makeup, and put them in the background. So it's like, ooh, that's not a good look, Disney, man. Ugh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh God.
But I mean, but I'll say
Damn,
this.
Disney, like you really got us amped up with freaking Black Panther, in which we're all probably gonna be wearing like dashikis, and I want to go to that movie dressed like King Joffrey Joffrey.
Oh yeah, with the lion and everything.
Velvet,
Yeah,
beautiful velvet.
yeah. Oh, if you can find like a panther one in velvet,
It's got to be the lion.
okay.
King Joffrey Joffrey. I got the snap. I got a snap in mind, ready and everything.
All right. Yeah, absolutely. And I will be decked out in my best Nigerian garb as well on the night of Black Panther.
Man, have to hit your pops up.
But yeah, man. Yeah, with Aladdin, I gotta say, at least, browning up white extras, not cool, but at least that's better than casting a white actor as the main character, and then just putting him in brown face. Then that would have been like a totally terrible look. But you gotta, step up, Disney. You can do better.
Yeah, they can. That is just bad. We all make bad decisions. Ain't nobody perfect.
That's true.
But Jesus Christ.
Yeah, yeah. Speaking of bad decisions, how'd the Cowboys do?
We're done.
Oh, you're out of the playoffs?
We are.
Oh,
We are 9-7, a decent record, but
okay.
there were other we lost the game that we needed, so and not to mention there could have been ways, even if we would have won that game, if other teams would have like won or lost, we would have been knocked out anyway. So
Yeah,
help is on the way.
indeed. As you guys say, we them boys
We still them boys.
that don't make it to the Super Bowl.
Listen, I have been a Dallas Cowboys fan since 1992. That's more than anybody that we know have been watching football.
Right.
So it's like, that's part of my identity. That's who I am. If I was to choose another team, as you suggested I do, I'm like, no, I'm cheating. I feel like I'm failing as a human being.
Well, I mean, you can always be a Cleveland Browns fan.
That's not happening. But I'm gonna be honest with you. I respect the fans of Cleveland.
Yeah, they actually threw their.
They hold on. They have had like the worst seasons like in the past like 20 something years since the franchise rebuilt, since the franchise came back to Cleveland, and like they are loyal as fuck. They are. See, these are the fans that you have to respect because they're there for the bad times. They're there for the droughts, just like I did. They paid their dues. You know what I mean? Unlike these Brady fans who all they know is Brady and that's it.
True.
You know what I mean? Just like me.
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't had a playoff. We only had 2 playoff victories since 95.
Wow.
And we're still there.
Yeah. You guys are still America's team.
Oh yeah, because we have the largest fan base like in the world.
Wow.
We're the #1 sports franchise in the world. We actually beat so many of those extra rich soccer teams that are out there.
Yeah, that's amazing. Hey, and
I'm gonna catch some heat, but You set me up for that. Now now I'm gonna have to deal with all these Patriot fans. Yep, here we go. Ride or die. Wait, ride or die. Gotta be loud. Detroit Lions fans never won a Super Bowl, but they keep pushing. Correct, Nick Quattrini.
Oh, yeah,
Big shout outs to Nick. Nick's been showing mad love.
Oh yeah, man. Thank you very much. Yeah, I gotta say, like, when this whole football season ends, what two teams do you think are gonna make it to this Football Kingdom '98 or whatever it's called?
You know damn well, stop being bougie. Can you please stop being bougie?
What?
You know it's called the Super Bowl.
Right, Super Bowl.
You literally said it like 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, Super Bowl 75, right?
52.
Yeah, close enough. Yeah, which two teams are you think are gonna square off?
I can't even tell you. There's some pretty good contenders out there. Like Jacksonville's doing their thing. Odds on New England could happen, but New England's gonna happen. But then, like, you never know that Madden curse can finally kick in, and that'll be it. Pittsburgh got a shot.
Okay.
So I mean, the Eagles. Odds are they will be eliminated, but any given Sunday, man.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
It is.
Yeah, Willie Beeman. Yeah.
Willie Beeman.
Yeah. I gotta watch that movie again. That's actually a really cool sports film. But yeah.
It's funny. You always said that, like, you hate sports, but yet you love sports movies.
I know. What
is your favorite sports movie?
Oh man, that's a good question. Favorite sports movie? I'm gonna have to go with Hoop Dreams.
The Criterion that you gave me that I still haven't watched.
Yeah, it's a great documentary.
Not documentary, movie.
Okay, non-documentary then.
Right. Yeah.
Oh man. Okay, favorite sports film that's a non-documentary. Okay. I think I'll go with Field of Dreams. Kevin Costner.
Mine's I would definitely say Remember the Titans.
Oh, Remember the Titans, that's really great. Denzel Washington, can't go wrong with that. Also, of course, Rocky, the first one.
Oh yeah, you can.
Yeah. And I haven't seen this movie ever. I hear it's a childhood favorite, The Sandlot.
You never saw The Sandlot?
Never.
You're killing me, Smalls.
That's where it's from?
Yes.
Huh. I thought it was like a Biggie reference, but anyway. Yeah, I saw The Sandlot in Target. Like, they always have copies for like $5 on Blu-ray.
Dude, why not? Grab it.
I mean,
I got everything else.
Well, not everything else. That's a slight exaggeration. But yeah. So yeah, what else have you been up to besides?
Okay, so I checked out
news?
There's this new show on the WWE Network called Photo Shoot, and they actually happen to feature the Miz and Cesaro. Okay. So what they do, they would just sit down and they would just show slides of like various pictures throughout their career, and they would just tell the story behind it. Like I always remember there was a picture of that little girl who was just pissed off in the audience.
Oh yeah,
it was because Miz won the championship and she was pissed.
When he won the world championship?
Yeah.
Oh man.
That was the reason why he won. That was the reason, like, the cameras just happened to catch that one little girl. Wonder what she's up to. Like, wonder if she saw that episode and just said, wow, Miz is talking about me. This is cool. But yeah, and then they showed, like, how different he wanted to be, how he wanted to, 42 was a great movie.
Oh yeah.
And Mighty Ducks is a classic.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, I forgot. I done lost my dream.
Yeah, the Miz Cesaro photo shoot.
Yeah, and they just basically they highlight stories. They highlight some pictures that they took. Mm-hmm. They show pictures of Cesaro back when he had hair, when he was wrestling in the Indies, out in Europe, and when he made it over here. Mm-hmm. When he won the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, and then he was like, "Yo, he's like, I'm not a Zeb Colter guy. I'm a Paul Heyman guy." But then that pretty much died out because the whole Brock Lesnar ending the Undertaker streak.
Yeah.
that was gaining so much momentum that they just kind of like shelved Cesaro.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, and then not to mention back to the Miz, where they had remember when he flipped out on Talking Smack.
Yep.
When Daniel Bryan called him a coward, and he was like he was so in the moment that he actually thought Daniel Bryan was gonna punch him in the face.
Oh yeah. Daniel Bryan thought it was a shoot at that moment, right?
He thought it was a shoot. Like he was going with it, but he like it was real, but then it wasn't.
Yeah, like there was a grain of truth in that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So like, and then once Daniel Bryan left, he's like, "Oh shit, what do I do?" And then that's when he just like kept going and going and going and going. And then it pretty much, would you say that it kind of propelled Miz even? I think
it definitely did. Yeah, like that worked shoot promo against Daniel Bryan.
It was it was Miz's pipe bomb.
Yeah, it was.
It was Miz's "I am the game" speech.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so they had like I think you should check it out. It's actually it's pretty cool where you can like see like old pictures of them. They tell the backstories of them. They actually tell a little bit about where they came from, and and sorts. So yeah, definitely check that out.
Okay.
I also checked out. I didn't get a chance to see the second one, but Dave Chappelle's
Equanimity.
Equanimity. Thank you.
Yep.
That shit is hilarious.
Yeah, it was.
Like, damn. I'm afraid to tell jokes because I'm afraid I'm gonna ruin them.
Yeah.
But I mean, when he was talking about like how he was talking to talk about the audience member who was offended by the
by his transgender joke.
Yeah, that was good.
Oh yeah, like there was a fan that wrote him a letter.
Very nice letter, but then he's like, "Well, what bothered me was," and he was offended by the transgender joke.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Then there was like, then he actually told the story about Emmett Till.
Yeah.
How he closed out, and then he was like, well, how it turned out, like the woman that on her deathbed, she revealed that she lied about the whole thing, and she said what everybody was saying. Mm-hmm. You lying bitch.
Mm-hmm.
But then it was like, but it was because of that lie that everything and the civil rights, everything in the civil rights movement have happened, and then we wouldn't have what we have today.
True. Yeah.
So it was like it makes sense, but at the same time, I'm like, you lying bitch. Which he said that too, but yeah, it's definitely great. It's definitely great. Dave Chappelle still got it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like I can't wait to see the rap.
The bird revelation.
Bird revelation. Where the hell did rabbit come from?
I will say with the bird revelation, it's definitely not as like haha funny as Equanimity.
Probably because it's in a small comedy club.
Not just.
You think that would have something to do with it? Because I started to watch it and then like we had to go somewhere and that sucked.
Yeah, not just that. Although that's probably part of it, but also like it was more like him just like rambling like his thoughts out loud on stage. So it's kind of like a stream of consciousness thing, where it's just like, oh, thoughts like whatever's like percolating in his brain, just like put it on the microphone.
Well, you gotta understand, Dave Chappelle's 44 now. Like we're not gonna get 30-something Dave, who's doing the racial draft and the play haters ball, which is my favorite Chappelle show skit. We're not gonna get that. He's an entirely different mindset.
That's true. He is.
So, but regardless, is still hilarious.
It is like I would say like Equanimity especially. I actually enjoyed that more than his previous two.
Really.
Stand-ups, and his previous two were funny, but Equanimity for me, like it kind of hit like a little slightly higher bar in terms of like the consistent humor, and especially like I was cracking up like on his references to Rachel Dolezal, that white woman who tried to pass.
I remember Rachel Dolezal because I remember there was a trending hashtag going on called Ask Rachel, and then they would ask like questions of Black culture. And he goes, is it called a remote control or a remote control? Hashtag Ask Rachel.
Yeah.
Because, Rachel, posed as being Black, that she would know.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I guess if you identify, well, that's the thing now. If you identify as whatever, you can be whatever.
Well, that has limits. Like when it does. Like when it comes to ethnicity, you cannot pull that off. No, ethnicity you cannot change that at all. No. That's your blood. That's your lineage. You are what you are. So that's like me passing off as like Dominican. That can't happen.
No.
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 No, not at all. Mm-mm. Or that's like you passing off as German.
Boris Kojo.
Oh yeah, he's half German, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, well yeah, it makes sense given his name. But you know what I mean, though. It's like
No, I know what you mean. I've been mistaken for like other races before. I've been mistaken for Dominican. I've been mistaken for Cape Verdean. The oddest one, I was mistaken for Indian.
really
Yeah, that actually was recent. It was like a month ago, maybe like a month or two ago.
like Indian as in from India, or
Yeah.
really, huh? I would not know.
I was shocked.
Like I could kind of understand maybe Native American, maybe, but
Yeah, I got some Native American in me somewhere in my lineage, but
okay.
but yeah, Indian. Yeah, there's this girl. Shout outs to Padu. I met her at Walmart, and I just said hi to her, whatever, walking by, and she said, "Excuse me, are you Indian?" No, that's different. I'm like, hold on, let me talk to her. I got to see where this is going, and we end up having a little nice conversation, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, it's a weird world we live in sometimes.
Who are you telling? So, another thing I did, I started my MCU week by week.
Oh, okay.
So last week was the first Iron Man. We're currently working on Incredible Hulk.
All right.
So next, I'm gonna need Iron Man 2. Was that next in the MCU lineup?
Yeah, it was.
Okay. So the thing is, if you watched all the MCU movies week by week,
Yep.
by the time you get to the last one, Infinity Wars will be out.
Yeah, that's true. Yep, we did post that on our Facebook page.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
I post so much stuff on that thing, I can't even keep track of it anymore.
Yeah. Well, I posted that Marvel.
Did you?
thing. Yeah, I did.
I gotta look back on it.
Yeah. But wow, so you're actually going through the entire MCU catalog.
I am.
Yeah, even the bad ones.
I will do so.
Well, even like
Listen, they're not bad. They have hits. They're not all hits. They're minor hits.
well, I will say like they're not DCEU bad, like but
Can you even get that bad?
oh man.
Like, think about it. Can you really get that bad?
Well, so far with Marvel, they've like there are certain Marvel films that for me like have been mediocre, like Thor
I think
Dark
Marvel
World.
has been like the worst they have been was mediocre.
Yeah, like Thor
Other
the
than that,
Dark
they
World,
have.
Thor the Dark World, Iron Fist, Guardians 2. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Other than that, you got hits.
Yeah, just hits all across the board.
Because they're doing it right.
Yeah,
They know what they're doing.
they do.
Like, they're hiring the right people.
Although, like I said, now that Disney has bought Fox,
Well, they're not touching. They're not going to touch Deadpool. They actually are open to having like a rated R division.
okay, well that's good, but like in the long run, I think it's going to hurt us in the long run as like fans and as consumers. Because Disney's buying up all these studios. They can't buy anymore.
The People's Republic of Disney is coming.
That's scary, man. It's like, yo,
It is.
it's like and
And the thing is, the Disney family's just sitting back, chilling.
and that's a scary thing, though. That's not good. No one family or conglomerate should have all that power. There should not be a monopoly like that.
The Queen of England's family, was it the Windsors? Is that their name?
That's different. Constitutional monarchy. But anyway, it's. I mean, think about it, man.
Good.
Like with Marvel, since Disney owns Marvel, and supposedly Disney regains all their properties back.
Who knows? They probably just did that just to get certain properties, and they'll probably just sell it back.
No, they're not going to do that. They're going to hold on each and every one.
I mean, they want that power, but I actually saw a meme. It was apparently in an episode of The Simpsons, Bart Simpson put a black bra on his head, and he goes, "Look, Ma, I'm the mascot of an evil corporation. Disney now owns this joke."
Oh yeah, I do remember that on The Simpsons. Yeah, Yeah, Simpsons predicted that. Yeah. And look at them now. Now Simpsons is owned by Disney.
Yeah. I saw another meme where it had Darth Vader bowing, and he's bowing to Mickey Mouse saying, "Who's your daddy?"
Case in point. I mean, think about it. Like when you have like X-Men coming out and like future X-Men films under the Disney Marvel Studios banner, or like
They can be better than Apocalypse.
oh yeah, they could be, but in the long run, like when you think
Better
about
than
it,
the first Wolverine Origins.
true, yeah, absolutely. But when you think about it, like in the long run, do you really want to see every single Marvel Cinematic Universe film, like X-Men included, have the same visual style, have the same unmemorable musical scores, have the same narrative pattern of the same safe twists?
But like I said, they're open to having rated R movies.
Right, but that's
So it could have like.
But that's kind of beside the point, though.
That's the thing. We really don't know what they're gonna do. We are not in those boardrooms, knowing what's going on. And Marvel, unlike DC, they listen to their fans.
To a point.
But they still listen. Does DC listen to their fans? Look at the products that they got now. Even their CW shows aren't really popping like that anymore.
Well, I hear that the Arrowverse is consistently good. Like, good, maybe not great, but good at the very least.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess. But, like, come on now. We got Black Lightning coming out.
Yeah, I'm curious. What?
I have not seen not one. Listen, everybody's amped for Black Panther.
Oh,
Lord
yeah.
knows I am.
I am too.
Nobody gives a shit about Black Lightning.
Well,
If anything, what they should have done was made a Static Shock TV show.
yeah, it could still happen.
I never heard of Black Lightning.
I thought Black Lightning was an original character for TV.
Maybe.
I
can't even tell you.
I'll give it a fair shot.
You're the DC. You're the DC reader.
Well, of DC Rebirth, I'll get into that in a bit. But yeah, I'll give Black Lightning a fair chance.
You know who plays him?
Who?
Scooter from Living Single. Don't ask me what his real name is. I just remember him as Scooter from Living Single.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I don't know his name either. But hey, good on him that he's getting work.
I just think people would have been more excited to see Static Shock instead of Black Lightning.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely.
Black Lightning probably sounds like a much grown version of Static Shock.
Yeah, or like a blaxploitation film.
Definitely that. Definitely that.
Oh man. Oh, speaking of blaxploitation, have you seen Black Dynamite yet?
I still haven't.
You gotta see Black Dynamite.
I've caught like episodes here or there because the cartoon and stuff.
Well, the cartoon. I haven't seen the cartoon, to be fair, but the movie Black Dynamite.
I just haven't had the chance to.
Oh man, dude, you gotta check that out.
Yeah, I heard it was freaking amazing.
Yes,
So.
it is.
Oh, Quincy Thomas says Black Lightning was before Static Shock.
Oh, okay.
So it's probably from the Milestone comic line.
I don't think so. I'll have to look it
Yeah,
up.
we have to.
Yeah. But yeah, anything else?
Let me see. Week by week, I'll save that. I picked up, so I'm in the process of trying to collect all the retro novelty systems. Mm-hmm. So the Super NES Classic is being a complete bitch right now.
Uh-huh.
And so I'm like, you know what? In the meantime, I picked up the Sega Flashback system.
Okay. All right.
It's an okay system for its price. Mm-hmm. 40. Yeah, I got it for what, $50, including taxes and stuff.
Oh, that's pretty good.
And it has the first 3 Mortal Kombats, which I'm completely which I was completely amped about. Mm-hmm. His name is Cress Williams. Shout out to Heather.
Yeah.
Black Nightling.
Okay.
Scooter.
Oh, the actor. Okay.
Cress Williams.
Oh, thank you, Heather.
So, but they did not have the games that I really, really wanted. Like the games that I grew up playing, which was all 3 Streets of Rage games.
Okay.
The Lion King.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And Michael Jackson's Moonwalker. I wasn't expecting them to have it.
Yeah.
But I would have loved that. I would love to play that again. But the cool feature about that is that if you can actually get your hands on an actual Sega Genesis cartridge, you can actually put it in and play it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I went by the Toy Vault to see if they have those. They didn't have them, unfortunately. Those specific titles.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they don't. But I do have somebody who can let me know
Nice.
who it is. I got a little inside. I got a little insider. So that's what I'm looking forward to getting. But they have about 80 games.
All right.
80 games. Vector Man was one of them. Comic Zone was one of them.
Yeah.
Comic Zone was pretty dope.
That game was hard as hell, though.
It was. I couldn't even make it past the first level. And it's just so, first of all, the controllers it had the 6-button controllers.
Yep.
So it was just me trying to do those. There's only one fatality in Mortal Kombat I can do. That I basically only tried doing. And that was the Liu Kang's Dragon Snack.
Okay.
That was the only one I still memorized to this day.
All right.
But it was just getting back into the groove of things. Like you can actually definitely feel like there was a huge jump as far as mechanics when it comes to going from Mortal Kombat 2 to 3.
Yeah.
Where it's everything was just much faster and much more loose and pretty much like what we're used to nowadays. The first Mortal Kombat, oh my God, it was slow. I really thought like I spilled Kool-Aid in my controller and the controllers got all sticky and stuff. But I mean, yeah, if you're into the retro games, I say get it. I actually do plan on getting the Atari one, so I expect way less because, it was Atari.
Yeah.
It was back in the early 80s, late 70s, early 80s, so I'm not expecting so much. But I mean, it's one of those things that's just cool to have.
Yeah.
And since, since I went through so much trouble getting the NES Classic, I'm like, I think it's just worth getting all of them.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's what's up.
That a quick little throwback I wanted to point out. This came on while I was working my overnight Sunday night, so I'm thinking I can probably be able to nod off. Nope, the Jackson's American Dream was on VH1
again.
Oh yeah, I haven't watched it in years though. I actually, my dad, he taped it when it first came on, and me, my sisters, and my cousins, we wore that tape. Well, we wore it out. We know that movie word for word.
Wow, you've seen it that many times.
Yeah, we did.
Oh man.
And we didn't go to the video store often.
Man, remember back in the days when you had to tape stuff off TV?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I pretty much did that up to 05.
Oh wow.
With wrestling pay-per-views and stuff. But I don't know, it was just cool to watch. It was just cool to watch it again and just see it, and then just watching Wiley Draper, who played adult Michael Jackson. Unfortunately he died 3 years later.
Oh wow.
To leukemia.
Damn.
So it's and I have not seen, and to this day I still have not seen a better Michael Jackson casting.
What about Flex Alexander?
Which his movie actually picks up from where American Dream left off, and that was awful.
Yeah, it was.
That movie made Michael Jackson look like a goddamn lunatic.
It did.
I knew he wasn't quite right in the head, but Jesus Christ, they just turned it all the way up to 10 on that one. And I just I refuse to watch it now.
I remember watching 20 minutes of it on TV because
you watched too much.
I know I did because
that movie is just as bad as Jennifer Lopez in The Cell.
Well, The Cell committed the sin of being boring, but
The Cell committed the sin of being born.
Damn. Well, you really don't like that movie, do you?
That was awful.
No argument.
Was awful.
No argument here. I mean, yeah.
I didn't even understand it.
Yeah, there's nothing to understand, really. I mean, Vincent D'Onofrio being a weirdo.
I like Vincent D'Onofrio.
He's a damn good actor.
He did it for the check.
Yeah.
I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt that he did it for the check.
Yep. Well, so yeah. That's about it, Carl.
And
or-
this probably is gonna segue into what you've been up to, so I can finish, sharing these, sharing the episode.
Yeah.
Wrestle Kingdom 12.
Yes, Wrestle Kingdom 12, man.
Okay, I had plans of getting up at 2 a.m, finding some links,
Yep.
and watching it.
Okay.
That did not happen. I got up at 5 as normal. Well, when my alarm went off, and that's when I remembered, like, oh my God, I forgot to set my alarm. So I'm gonna need your help on some of the names because you're much more familiar with New Japan than I was.
Yeah.
So by the time I woke up, I was in the middle of the Fatal 4-Way match, which included
Will Ospreay versus Marty Scurll, Hiromu Takahashi, and Kushida.
fire.
Yes. You saw the whole match?
It was in the middle of it.
Okay.
It was in the middle of it when I got the link and turned it on. But I mean, if you ain't watching New Japan, get on it.
Yes. Now is the time.
Get on. As a matter of fact, if you're not watching, if you stopped watching wrestling at all, this is the perfect time to get into it. Whether it be New Japan, WWE, Ring of Honor, or the Indies.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like the array of talent that is out right now is amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. With no doubt about it. Like you have like a whole bunch of options to choose from when it comes to wrestling now.
Exactly. I mean, the WWE is the much more convenient one, with the network and stuff. But it's like there's still so much out there.
Yeah. And yeah, like should I run down the whole card?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go on ahead.
Yeah, so Wrestle Kingdom 12 took place in the Tokyo Dome last Thursday, January 4th.
Legendary Tokyo Dome.
Oh yes.
So many great matches throughout the years.
Oh yeah, and Wrestle Kingdom.
What's up, Kyle?
Yeah, welcome Kyle to the chat. For those who don't know, Wrestle Kingdom 12 is New Japan Pro Wrestling's biggest annual event of the year.
Their WrestleMania.
Yep, it's their WrestleMania, and after watching Wrestle Kingdom 12, well, WrestleMania this year has a whole lot to catch up to, and I got to tell you, man, I had the pleasure of watching this entire event, and this event was just straight fuego. Fire from top to bottom. The only match I did not see was on the pre-show. That was the New Japan Rumble, but apparently wrestler Masahito Kakihara was the winner of this New Japan Rumble on the pre-show. But I did manage to see from the opening bout all the way to the incredible main event. We had the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championship match with the Young Bucks versus Roppongi 3K, Sho and Yo, who are the defending champions. And that was a very good tag team match. Like the Young Bucks, I've heard a lot about them like throughout the years. Like apparently they're prior to this match, I think they were a 6-time IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champions. Yeah. And like they were like rocking it in the Indies. The Hardys even wrestled them at one point stateside. And like I heard so much about them, but I never got to see them wrestle. But this was my first Young Bucks match that I've seen them in, and I'm after seeing it, I'm like, I can see why the Young Bucks have such a big fan base on the on the non WWE wrestling scene because they're a tight tag.
They are.
Like these kids are like young. They're like what? Not even 25 even.
Yeah, still I would say 25.
Yeah, maybe about that. Maybe you can look it up. But these two kids, man, they have what it takes. Like they light up the tag team scene like nobody's business. I can see the hype behind them because they had a terrific match against Roppongi 3K. And do you mind if I go over the results too?
No, I don't mind.
Yeah.
Matt is 32 and Nick is 28. They're actually brothers.
Oh wow! They look way younger than their ages. I thought they were like in their early 20s, but even so, like these two cats, man, they're just.
They were trained by Marty Jannetty.
Wow, wow. Hey, Marty Jannetty did great work apparently because like these two cats are killing it, and like their match against Roppongi 3K was terrific, and it was great tag team wrestling. And the Young Bucks, they managed to pull the big win, and they managed to reclaim the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team titles for the 7th time. and well earned. Then afterwards there was a gauntlet match for the Never Openweight 6-man tag team championship. So it was a gauntlet match between multiple teams. So you had the defending team Bullet Club, who were the Never Openweight 6-man tag team champions, which consisted of Bad Luck Fale, Tama Tonga, and Tonga Loa.
Tama Tonga, famous. He has a famous father.
Yep, which is Haku, right?
Right.
Yep. And they competed against Michael Elgin and War Machine, and Suzuki Gun, which consisted of Taichi, Takashi Iizuka, and Zack Sabre Jr., and Taguchi Japan, which consisted of Juice Robinson, who you remember as CJ Parker from NXT,
All right.
Ryusuke Taguchi, and Togi Makabe. And they all competed in this gauntlet match, but the ultimate winners of this gauntlet match and the 6-man tag team championship titles was Chaos, which consisted of the team of Beretta, Tomohiro Ishii, and Toru Yano. And this was a really cool gauntlet match. It was like great back and forth, great finishers, great eliminations throughout the match.
You definitely was not trying to get up that early just to watch this.
Oh no, I like last
Worth it.
It was
Worth it because you don't have to worry about you didn't have to worry about like spoilers and stuff or who won this, who won that and stuff.
Right. And like when I watched it, it was last Thursday when that big blizzard hit us. And like so we were all snowed in, so luckily it was perfect timing. So when I woke up,
you was snowed in.
Yeah, I know.
I still had to work.
Damn, yeah, that sucked. But yeah, like I managed to find a nice link through some insider contacts, and I managed to watch this event on Dailymotion, and this match was incredible as well. Also, there was a really good match between Kota Ibushi, one of the greatest, very best wrestlers in the world. Kota Ibushi, who had a one-on-one match against Cody, who was accompanied by his lovely wife, Brandy Rhodes. And Cody was definitely the clear heel in this match. I would say, like... I'm
going to need that link.
Yeah, it was a very good... It was a very good match. I will say that Cody...
Kota Ibushi is a beast.
Yes, he is. Yo,
I've never watched him until the Cruiserweight Classic with his match against Cedric Alexander. And even that one I would label it as my personal classic.
Yeah, hey, I wouldn't no arguments here. Like I will say this, Kota Ibushi did the smartest thing by not signing with WWE because he would have been wasting away on 205 Live, and that would have made me so angry. But Kota Ibushi and Cody,
he said he's still down to do like some, a couple of WWE appearances and matches here or there.
Yeah, which is a smart thing, like freelance.
I'm cool with that.
Oh yeah, me too. And like. They had a very good match. Cody, he was the clear heel. I do like Cody, like his hustle on the indies, trying to build his
he's
stock.
Building himself. Yeah, he leaves WWE because they're not doing shit with him, and then he left, building himself in the indies, building himself in Japan, so he's becoming an even bigger star. So guess what? He's gonna come right back to WWE and be like, "Listen, I'm main event caliber now."
Yeah, which is the smartest play, and also I will say though that and this is not insulting Cody in any way. I do think that fans are kind of overrating Cody a little bit because I think he's very, very good, but is he great? Not yet. I think he has
he has time to build.
He has all the markings, all the elements to be like
and he's young
great.
Too.
He's
young, so he's got plenty of time.
Yeah, he's like around our age, right? Yeah, so like he has like the skills to be great, but like he's close. He's close, but like I think fans should be careful about like overrating his worth. But like that's not taking anything away from Cody. But Cody,
he's 32. He's younger than us.
Oh yeah. But Kota Ibushi, he did claim the victory in this match, but it was very good. There was some cool heel shenanigans that Cody and his wife Brandy pulled off in the match, which I thought was pretty humorous, which kind of fit his character into a T. And Cody Rhodes, he came in with the beach blonde hair, which kind of made him look like a big tool douchebag, which added to his heelishness, which I kind of like too.
Or maybe it could be a tribute to his pops.
I didn't think of it that way. I mean, it could be a tribute to his pops and his brother, but also like, come on, Cody.
But the dude looks just like his mother, though.
He kind of does. Yeah,
he does.
Yeah, but hey, man, big ups on both athletes. Then you had
I'm so mad I missed that.
Yeah. Then you had the IWGP Tag Team Championship, where you had the Killer Elite Squad, defending champions, consisting of Lance Archer and Davey Boy Smith Jr.
Damn it, he was on the card too?
Yep, he was on the card. They were defending their
Harry Smith was on the card. Damn.
Yeah, Harry Smith. They were defending their tag team championships against the team of Los Ingobernables de Japan, Evil and Sonata. The team of Evil and Sonata. This was a really good tag team contest. And Davey Boy Smith Jr. He looks just like his pops, but he's every bit as talented and more.
Yeah.
He
just kind of ruined his WWE opportunity. He could have been he could have had so much more opportunities.
Oh yeah, how'd he ruin it?
He failed drug tests.
Ah, damn, that sucks. But yeah, hey, he's coming up in a major way. Like, in fact, Davey Boy Smith Jr. He came up with the jeans and the boots and the socks. He kind of looked like his father did in the Attitude Era. Yeah, so I was like, oh, that was a nice tribute. But yeah, this was a really good tag team match. At the end, Evil and Sonata did get the victory. They did become the new tag team champions. But the Killer Elite Squad gave them a hell of a fight.
Good.
Yeah, and Lance Archer, man, this dude was like a nasty piece of work in this match too, healing it up too. So, big ups on him as well. Then you had a hair versus hair match with Hiroki Goto versus Minoru Suzuki. And if you've never heard of Minoru Suzuki, and he was actually defending his championship, the Never Openweight Championship. Mm-hmm. Minoru Suzuki, he's like a sadistic dude. He's got a shaved head, a little mohawk in the back, and his whole gimmick is his whole gimmick is taking pleasure in hurting people. He's like a complete sociopath.
Okay.
And going into this contest with Hiroki Goto, he's like the clear baby face. This was a really cool match. Minoru Suzuki, he was definitely the clear heel, but you could tell he has a lot of respect from the fans. At the end, he did lose the match and he lost his championship. So at the end, as per the stipulation, it was hair versus hair. So he had to shave off the remaining bits of his hair. And as a result,
you're right there. You ain't catching a stroke, are you?
I know. I had a brain fart. So as a result, Suzuki, he felt shame. Mm-hmm. So he got the clippers. He shaved off the remaining bits of his mohawk, put it down on put the remaining bits of his hair on the chair, and stormed out of the ring. And Hiroki Goto left with the Never Openweight Championship. So well earned. Then you were getting to some of the best matches of the night in an already great card. You had the Fatal 4-Way match for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship.
Okay, now I woke up in the middle of this.
And you saw a good bit of that match, but definitely watch it from the beginning because this match, you had Marty Scurll, who was the defending IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion, defending against Hiromu Takahashi, Kushida, and Will Ospreay.
I'm a fan of Will Ospreay.
Will Ospreay.
I like Will Ospreay.
Yeah, Will Ospreay is the truth. And this Fatal 4-Way match is what 205 Live wishes it could be, but can never be. And mostly because of Vince McMahon. But This match was definitely one of my matches of the year already. Will Ospreay, Marty Scurll, Takahashi, Kushida, they pulled off some awesome work in this match. The work rate in this match was just incredible. It's this is what we should be seeing on 205 Live every week. But thankfully we have New Japan to pick up the slack. And at the end, Will Ospreay, he managed to get the victory and become the new IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion. Very much deserved because this dude is an incredible athlete.
I was wow. I woke up entertained. I still had crust in my eyes and stuff from sleeping extra good and stuff. And I'm I was mad because I didn't get up when I wanted to.
Yeah.
But I woke up at the right time just to catch that match.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you did, man. And Will Ospreay, he's definitely championship material. And I will say this though, I would have no problem seeing him on NXT, but Will Ospreay, if he's watching somehow, one, thank you, and two, stay as far away from the WWE main roster as you can, because 205 Live is a death sentence. It's a death sentence to talented individuals. So you're cool where you are. Go to NXT if you want to be close to the WWE, bandwagon, but stay away from the main roster because they're not going to do you no favors. So yeah,
you got to blame Vince. I wouldn't put blame on Triple H because Triple H. I think I like what Triple H is doing.
Yeah,
but a lot of that influences Vince.
Yeah, it is. Unfortunately.
All right, but keep going.
Yeah, so you had 3 more matches on the card here. You had the IWGP Intercontinental Championship.
Okay. I had to get ready for work in this one.
Yeah, you had Jay White challenging the champion, the John Cena of New Japan, Hiroshi Tanahashi. I call Tanahashi the John Cena of New Japan because he's been around for as long as John Cena. He's like the big, franchise player, the workhorse, and that's pretty much the reason why. But they both had a really good match. Jay White has incredible talent and potential to be a major player. At the end of the day, in a well fought contest, Tanahashi still retained the Intercontinental Championship, and I gotta say, man, I was expecting Jay White to win, but I was pleased that Tanahashi won.
Did you see the video of Jay White? I'm not sure if this was before or after. I saw it after Wrestle Kingdom, but Jay White and Kenny Omega in the ring. Jay White was about to join the Bullet Club.
I heard about that, but I didn't see it.
And then he just hits him with, I don't know what he calls his finisher, but it's basically Sister Abigail's Kiss.
Oh, wow, okay.
He hit Kenny Omega with it.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, he's not joining the Bullet Club, but he's gonna. I guess he's gonna be a rival to the Bullet Club.
Okay,
he's basically pulling a DDP to the NWO.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, when DDP Diamond Cuttered Scott Hall. Yeah, that was a great moment. But yeah, a great match. And then you had one of my second match of the year, which you had the pleasure of watching to in full, and this was Kenny Omega versus Chris Jericho for the IWGP United States Heavyweight Championship in a no disqualification match. Carl, since you've seen it in full, give us your thoughts on this contest.
Man, I saw it live.
You saw it live, dude.
Man, it definitely lived up to the hype.
Mm-hmm.
It really did. It really, really did. My only concern was I didn't want it to be a no disqualification match. I wanted it to be a legit match. I wanted to see some wrestling skill between the both of them. It was something on the level of Chris Benoit versus Eddie Guerrero back when they were in New Japan.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to see. Believe me, don't get me wrong. I am happy with I'm more than happy with what I got. But that was what I wanted to see.
Mm-hmm.
And those two, even Chris Jericho at 47 years of age, delivered.
Absolutely. Chris Jericho, he calls himself the GOAT, and you know what?
He is.
Because he's been in the game for 27 years, and he's managed to reinvent himself and stay relevant and fresh. And in this match, Chris Jericho
left for a few years at one point.
Yep. Yeah.
And still came in he never lost a step.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Never lost a step. And Jericho's already on a high elite level. And after this match, he's even higher. And that's saying something.
I don't think he can go any higher.
I don't even know. If Jericho goes any higher, then he should compete for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship.
Right.
But
which I think he can.
He could. And especially, and not just him, Kenny Omega, if you haven't seen any of Kenny Omega's matches, you are missing out on a once in a lifetime talent, in-ring talent. This dude is just a savant in the ring. And the hype is real. If you're a wrestling, even if you have a casual knowledge of wrestling, and you've probably heard the name Kenny Omega, and you're probably I don't get what's the hype. Watch one of his matches. Watch this match alone. Yeah, this match alone could make you a Kenny Omega fan. Yeah, absolutely. And I've seen several Kenny Omega matches in the last couple of years, but this match raised the bar. And there were some great spots in the match too. For example, like Chris Jericho being a complete douchebag heel, assaulting the referee Red Shoes and his son, putting up and bless Chris Jericho. It's been so long since we've seen a proper lion tamer applied.
Yeah.
Yeah, not the walls of Jericho, which is just a Boston Crab. I'm talking about the elevated Boston Crab when he digs his knee
into the back.
Into the back of your neck, bridges your back. Oh, beautiful. That brought me back to WCW. But, man, and Kenny Omega, like, he hit some awesome moves. Like, he hit him with this one move at one point. It was like he wrapped he got him in he lifted him up by his knee like going for like an atomic drop, and then he like turned him around midair and then dropped him right on his knee like a shoulder breaker neck breaker combo, which was like a sick move. Yeah,
like I said, if there's any time to get back into wrestling, to get either into wrestling or get back into wrestling, now's the time.
Absolutely, now is the time. And Kenny Omega's finishing move is the illest, the one-winged angel. Yeah. Oh, especially how he hit it perfectly on the mark on the chair. Like he put Chris Jericho up in the electric chair, folded him up into like a Ford DVD, Death Valley Driver, onto the chair. Bam! 1, 2, 3. Kenny Omega picks up the victory in a match of the year candidate for sure.
Okay, yeah, just watched the ESPN doc on Scott Hall, and he killed the guy. Yeah, if you watch Living on the Razor's Edge, Nick, which is the documentary about Scott Hall, they definitely go into that deep into that story where Scott Hall actually killed somebody in self-defense. You never seen it?
No.
Oh, it's on the network.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's on the network. Which led to his, his addiction and his pretty much his downfall, his roller coaster ride that he calls life.
Oh wow, dang! I gotta catch that.
Yeah, it's very honest. So I highly recommend you check that out as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And on to the main event that I just finished watching that's why we started late.
Yeah, and it was worth the wait, man.
It was. Sorry, y'all.
Yeah, and we get to the main event, which is my third match of the year of 2018 already.
We didn't even get to Royal Rumble yet.
For real. And this was for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship, where you had Tetsuya Naito challenging Kazuchika Okada, the longest reigning IWGP champion, who has held the title since June of 2016. And Tetsuya Naito, he was the winner of last year's G1 Climax tournament, and this match was the number one contender versus the longest reigning champion. Yo, this match took me to church. That's all I gotta say. I'm not a religious man.
Not at all.
I'm not a spiritual man, but this match took me to wrestling church. Yes.
Right. Okay. I mean, high spots, technical in-ring skill. This match had it all. Brawling.
Yep.
This match had it all.
Yes, it did. There were some awesome spots, like for example, Okada hit the sick DDT.
The spike DDT. The Naito's back hurricanrana.
Oh, the reverse hurricanrana.
The reverse hurricanrana off the top rope.
Yep.
Like, I can't even tell. It's just so much. It's just so much to highlight. Get on it and watch it.
Yeah, this was like, well, if you want to understand the art of professional wrestling.
Thank you.
Yes.
Art.
Yes, it was.
I have heard many old school professional wrestlers have, referred to their wrestling as they're painting the picture that they are creating art.
Yep.
This exemplifies that.
Yes,
this is the
does.
epitome of what they are talking about.
Yeah, and this is like great wrestling storytelling here too. Like you had Okada hit Naito with his Rainmaker finishing move, which is a sick nasty lariat, like a hammerlock into a clothesline from hell.
Yeah, so it comes out like out of no. So it's like it's coming, but it's like it's so fast you don't even have enough time to even like duck or react. And it was,
yeah, and then then you had Okada hit some of the best, crispest drop kicks in the business. on Naito. The Naito hit him with his Destino finisher, which is kind of similar to Kalisto's Selena del Sol. Okada still managed to kick out. You had Okada hit the Tombstone Pile Driver
a couple of times.
Yep, even the Zangief variation where he spins around in midair.
Undertaker still got the best one.
Okay, I won't dispute that. I mean, because he is the Undertaker, even though
shut up.
His hips.
Shut up.
His hip.
Shut up.
Prevents
Shut
him
up.
from hitting
Shut
the
up.
move. But at the end, man, I fully expected Tetsuya Naito to finally win the championship. But at the end, Okada still retained with one more well-placed Rainmaker, pinned him in the middle of the ring, 1, 2, 3. Both men were exhausted, spent. They left it all in the ring. And you know what? For Naito, there is no shame in losing this match. None at all.
Not even for Jericho.
No, not even for Jericho too. Yeah. And in fact, you know what? I did see some footage. Like I think they had an event the next night where Jericho actually attacked Tetsuya Naito from behind. So apparently they're going to set up a program of their own too. So a Naito Jericho match, that's another match of the year right there. So I can't wait.
What do you think of what's possibly happened since Jericho is still under contract with WWE? Mm-hmm. See, Vince is the worst, but he's smart. He's gonna send somebody well known like Jericho over there, recruit some talent to either recruit talent, have them get signed, join NXT or whatever, or just bring some of them cats over and have some 5-star quality matches for WrestleMania.
You know what?
Possibly a Jericho Omega 2 at WrestleMania.
Ooh. Yo, you know what? Personally, I think Omega's too good for WWE,
right?
Because WWE would I want to say that they wouldn't misuse him, but I will say that they'll give him the Nakamura treatment on the main roster. They'll turn him into just another face in the crowd,
right?
Which is a big insult, and which is why I say Omega's too good for WWE. But if they could give Jericho an Omega or Omega that one match contract for WrestleMania,
yeah,
I'm all in. I'm all in for that. And then you complement that with AJ Styles versus
Shinsuke Nakamura
for the WWE Championship.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
They can do that. And money talks.
Money does talk. And then not to mention you got Finn Balor and Anderson and Gallows reunited as the Balor Club, aka WWE's Bullet Club.
The Club.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather refer to it as the Club. We all know it's the Bullet Club. I'd rather just call it the Club. Just, I don't know. When they call it Balor Club, it just seems like, all right, it's just Finn Balor.
Yeah.
Like he's the star of the show, and I'm like, yo, the other guys are just as good, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can kind of see that. But yeah, man, all I gotta.
WrestleMania has a lot of potential.
I will say this.
It does, but it's like
WrestleMania 34 has a lot to live up to. In fact, I gotta say this though. WrestleMania, in fact, not just WrestleMania, but WWE's main roster pay-per-views, they can't even live up to NXT's pay-per-views. So, what makes you think that they can live up to Wrestle Kingdom from New Japan Pro Wrestling?
Listen, they put it all out there. They put it all out there at WrestleMania. So,
I don't.
It could happen.
I mean, I'll say this though: AJ Nakamura for the championship can match anything on Wrestle Kingdom's card if they let AJ and Nakamura do their thing unencumbered by the WWE style.
Right.
So, I'm still looking forward to WrestleMania 34, but Wrestle Kingdom 12 sets the bar high. If there are any other matches that exceed any of these matches as my number one match of the year, then 2018 is a great year for wrestling.
Good.
Yeah.
Definitely good. So.
Yeah.
So, the hell you been up to? We pretty much been up to the same shit.
Yeah, pretty much. As for me, John Haponic, resident supervillain, has joined. So welcome, John, to the podcast.
Boo! I'm joking.
And happy birthday, John. This week was his birthday.
Oh, this week?
Yeah.
Happy birthday, John, and congratulations to Eddie. He had a brand new baby girl this week.
Ah, congratulations, man.
Baby Luna.
Awesome, awesome. Congrats. Yeah, man. Doing big things, doing big things.
Yeah, but go on. But I continue. I stay interrupting you.
Oh, that's fine. Like,
Okay.
well, not,
Okay.
I mean,
In
like,
moderation.
yeah, in moderation. Like this week's episode's kind of like a recap from what we did on our hiatus. So and we'll get into some of the headlines in a bit. But for me, I've been catching up on a bunch of movies.
As usual.
As per usual. This past weekend, I've been getting over this cold. Since I was shoveling snow for 3 hours, thanks to this godforsaken blizzard. I hate New England weather so much.
Oh my God. Let me tell you something. The wind was blowing the snow so hard, like it was stinging my face.
Yeah, like you know how cold evaporates moisture. Like I was outside shoveling and my eyes got watery.
Oh, my face was entirely wet, and the snow was knee deep. Mm-hmm. I had to jump. Like everybody's actually watching me, like jump into the snow and stuff. And I'm like, yo, snow is inconvenient.
Hell yeah, yeah. Like I have my hatred for New England snow and winter runs deep.
Yeah, mine too. I will not dispute that.
Yeah. But besides that, I've been catching up on a whole bunch of movies. In fact, I caught 2 new movies yesterday and today. Yesterday, I caught this movie that just came out in Rhode Island. It's called I, Tonya.
I think I saw like an ad for that on Facebook. Is Margot Robbie in it?
Yep, Margot Robbie.
Go ahead.
Yep, Margot Robbie. She stars as Tonya Harding, and Allison Janney stars as her mother. And also Sebastian Stan, who we know as the Winter Soldier. Yep, he stars as what's his name? Jeff Gillooly, who was Tonya Harding's abusive douchebag boyfriend turned husband. And you remember the Tonya Harding Nancy Kerrigan scandal, right?
I was getting ready to ask that.
Yeah, well, this movie focuses on Tonya Harding and her family and her circle and that whole scandal and how it kind of affected all of them. And I, Tonya stars Margot Robbie as Tonya Harding and how the film kind of explores her upbringing in Oregon and how she grew up as basically poor white trash. Mm-hmm. Grew up with an abusive, emotionally dead mother, played by Allison Janney, who was magnificent in her role. Like she was a completely miserable C word. That's how awful she was. And Margot Robbie, she plays Tonya Harding, who's this woman who basically all her whole life was figure skating. In fact, her mother was so driven and so abusive emotionally and physically that she actually took her out of school from a young age to have her solely focus on figure skating as her own personal school, like her school, her career, like eat, sleep, figure skate, repeat. That was her life from the age of 3 till like when she came of age and beyond. And so throughout the whole film, you see her, learning her craft and also navigating her troubled upbringing, also navigating her troubled and terrible marriage to this guy, Jeff, played by Sebastian Stan, who abuses her and puts her in this complete cycle of abuse where he abuses her, hits her, then they have sex and it's like, oh, I'll never do it again. And then she hits her again. Then the cycle continues, vicious cycle of abuse and toxic relationships.
Okay, first off, I had to look up who Allison Janney was, but now I remember her. She played the guidance counselor who was writing a sex novel and 10 Things I Hate About You.
Yep.
So, and then John Aponic says, he asks, was she better as Harley Quinn?
No. I will say Margot Robbie was better as Tonya Harding. And to be fair, Margot Robbie, she was good as Harley Quinn, but good was about it. And Suicide Squad was a trash movie. But anyway.
You're not going to get... First of all, look how long it took for him to finally admit that BVS was awful.
I know.
He's gonna fight. He's gonna fight for Suicide Squad for at least about another good year.
Yeah. Until Warner Brothers reboots the entire DCEU. But anyway, but I, Tonya was a fantastic movie, and Margot Robbie. This was for me her best performance that I've seen her pull off. And Margot Robbie's a gifted actress, and this one is no exception. Where her character, the movie it makes you sympathetic enough to her plight in that, yeah, she's a victim of abuse and that, she's been manipulated a lot and that how that kind of turns her into a toxic person. but at the same time, you know, you also don't feel entirely too sorry for her either, because you know she's also manipulative in her own right. She blames everybody but herself for her own problems, and you know, and like
She says Oscar winner.
whatever. And at the same time, it's like you feel for her, but at the same time, you know just how rotten she can be and how rotten she is, and that's also due to the circle of people that she has around her that enables her nastiness. So it's like a feedback loop of like nastiness and just manipulation that just like eats her alive. And the film does touch on the whole Nancy Kerrigan incident, where it turns out that for years I thought when I first heard the scandal, I thought Tonya Harding herself actually hit Nancy Kerrigan, but no, it turns out that her husband
Manipulated her to do it.
no, her husband and her husband's friend actually hired some other guy, a friend of a friend, to actually do the job. So a friend of a friend, this guy is like Steve Shane or something or other, like actually traveled all the way to Detroit to one of Nancy Kerrigan's practice sessions, and then when she was coming off the rink, the guy followed her.
Sean Eckhart.
Yeah, that's the guy, and the guy followed her, took out a billy club, a baton, whacked her right above the knee. And the aftermath was captured, where Nancy Kerrigan was crying like, why, and then that whole thing turned into a huge media circus.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, that was actually like the big media circus story right before the O.J. Simpson case, and when you see that, you kind of see how Tonya Harding started to become a punchline, even back then, where yeah, she was a gifted figure skater, but at the same time, like she was her own worst enemy. Like she couldn't get out of her own way, and at the same time, you can kind of see how that was impossible for her, because like not just her manipulative family and her abusive husband, but also like when she was competing in contests, like judges were like unfairly biased against her, because they were like, well, yeah, we know deep down you have the skills. In fact, we dare say you are the best, but figure skating is also about presenting a certain image. Like, we want to present an all-American girl, like an all-American, you know, goody two-shoes, like heroine, not some poor white trash, you know, and that goes against our narrative. And so Tonya Harding had to compete against that bias too. So you can kind of see how this movie's version of her kind of, you know, was always fighting an uphill battle that she couldn't hope to win, really. So the whole film, I, Tonya, is a fascinating film. I highly recommend watching it. It is in theaters now in Rhode Island. Margot Robbie gives her best performance. Allison Janney, she actually won a Golden Globe for Best Supporting Actress. Okay. And she plays a thoroughly unlikable mother, and like a woman that you just want to pull the plug on her, pull the plug on her oxygen tank, and you know, just watch her suffocate, because she's just that unlikable.
Did you cry?
No, not at all.
Okay. Well, Nick Quattrini said, I wanted to see this, saw like 10 trailers for it. Had no idea it had to do with Rhode Island. Was it filmed there? I'll admit, I also want to see that Billie Jean King film, Battle of the Sexes. Emma Stone is really good.
I haven't seen Battle of the Sexes. I heard that was really good too. I, Tonya, it wasn't filmed in Rhode Island, but I just said that like it actually is currently playing in Rhode Island. It's playing at the Showcase Cinemas Warwick on Quaker Lane, but I think it's going to open up in more Rhode Island theaters this Friday. So you might watch it at other theaters like Lincoln and Seekonk and others. But yeah, check it out. It's a great film. And another film that I did catch this morning. It's a film which is written and directed by Aaron Sorkin. And this is Aaron Sorkin's directorial debut, and it's called Molly's Game. And Molly's Game stars Jessica Chastain and Idris Elba. And this actually tells a true story of Molly Bloom, played by Jessica Chastain, who was a former Olympic skier who actually ran this high stakes poker game in Los Angeles and New York, and she had high profile celebrities come in and play, like power brokers, business people, and whatnot. And she ran this off the books high stakes poker game for like nearly 10 years. And she, before being arrested by the FBI, because they said that she was running an illegal poker game, illegal casino, so to speak. And the whole film, like Jessica Chastain, she gives a commanding, assertive, driven performance. One of my favorites from her. And Idris Elba plays her lawyer, her attorney who represents her, and the film is great. It's just full of that great Aaron Sorkin dialogue, witty and very clever wordplay, just like sharp writing throughout. The film's like 2.5 hours long, nearly, but it's very engaging from start to finish. Michael Cera is in it. He plays a guy named Player X, who's actually a composite. He is actually a composite character. He represents the many actors that Molly Bloom dealt with, as poker players. Like Michael Cera represents people such as Leonardo DiCaprio, Tobey Maguire, and other actors who were involved in Molly Bloom's games. And what was cool is that you got to see what drives her character. And also, you kind of see like her relationship with her dad, played by Kevin Costner, who was a guy who was like very stern and very, I wouldn't say, definitely not abusive, but a guy who was always expecting greatness from his kids, and like he was a very stern taskmaster.
In other words, a Joe Jackson.
Not like a Joe Jackson.
Not like minus the beatings.
Minus the beatings, basically. Yeah. And basically, like his whole rationale was like, well, I expect greatness from my kids, and then and later on in the film, he goes, well, your brothers turned out great, you turned out great, so I did, so I know I did something right. So like Kevin Costner, like his character is the type of guy who would never admit when he's wrong, and then when you get his back against the wall and get him to admit that he's wrong, he'll still find a way to turn it against you. He's kind of like that type of person, and like. And it was an interesting role to see Kevin Costner play, and also like I said, like the direction was great. It was solid. It was definitely a solid debut from Aaron Sorkin, because you're used to seeing him write stuff like The Newsroom, The Social Network, among others. And he did a solid job directing. And Jessica Chastain, she's a fantastic actress, and this was a great performance from her as well. And if you're a fan of like sharp dialogue and an interesting story to boot, that's based on real life, definitely check out Molly's Game. It's playing in theaters now.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So anything else?
Other stuff. Let's see. I started watching Black Mirror.
I gotta start watching that.
Yeah, it's a really good show. I've only watched 2 episodes so far. It's like an anthology series, so it's like the Twilight Zone.
Oh, okay.
But like a darker, more modern edge. Like
right.
like everything takes place in like the present day. I definitely recommend you watch the first episode, because the first episode is.
It's just by looking at your face, it just has Victor Amoyo written all over it.
Can I tell you what the first episode of Black Mirror is about?
Nope.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
I'm just dying. I'll be tell the fans at least. I'm telling listeners. Okay. So for those of you who are not familiar with Black Mirror, each episode is its own self-contained story, much like the Twilight Zone, and it's sort of like a commentary on our modern, tech-focused society. And so the first episode deals with the Prime Minister of Britain, and he gets a video from one of the royals who was kidnapped, and the kidnapper offers a demand. He says that the kidnapper says, "Okay, I will release this member of the royal family unharmed if you, Mr. Prime Minister, film yourself fucking a pig on camera." Yeah, and it gets and that's when and it gets weirder from there. So that's the premise for the first episode of Black Mirror. So strap in, Carl. There's more. There's so much more. I could tell you.
You a little too happy about this.
Oh man,
you need some sunshine in your life, man.
Oh, I have sunshine, plenty. But
yeah, you do.
But yeah, I'm definitely gonna catch more Black Mirror episodes. I did watch one of the new episodes from the current season, which came out a couple weeks back, and which was very, very thought provoking. The less I'll say about that, the better.
Wait, what is this?
What?
What are you talking about as of right now?
Black Mirror.
Oh, okay.
The new episode.
Oh, okay. No, I was reading the chat. We got a few responses on the chat.
John Haponic asks, did the Star Trek episode meet the hype? I have not seen the Star Trek episode of Black Mirror, but I really want to. In fact, I'll watch it maybe after this podcast.
Okay. And then Eddie says, you guys got to watch Happy on the Sci-Fi Network. It's awesome.
I've seen a commercial for that.
Right after Raw.
Yeah, the Christopher Maloney's in it, right?
Oh.
I think Christopher Maloney stars in Happy because it looks genuinely interesting, and I do want to catch that actually. So thank you, Eddie, for mentioning that show. But yeah, Black Mirror, check it out. I've also caught a few episodes of Rick and Morty.
Did you?
I did. So big shout outs to Afton because she was recommended that show to us for weeks.
Weeks for a grip.
Yeah. So
Christopher Maloney is in
Happy?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, in that case, yeah. So I'll definitely watch that. So yeah, I watched a few episodes of Rick and Morty from the first season, and yeah, I can see why people love that show. That show is absurd, it's nasty, it's clever. It's definitely right up my alley. And I think it'll be right up your alley too. You should definitely check it out.
All right. It's on Hulu, so I can.
Oh yeah. And also I finally got to watch the first season and the first episode of the second season of F is for Family.
Oh Jesus, what you think?
I love that show.
I knew you would.
Yo.
Oh man.
F is for Family is fucking great, man.
You did not leave the house these past few.
I didn't leave the house much for the past few days. No.
You watched a lot.
I did. Yo, like, F is for Family had me dying. Oh, my God. Yo.
Especially when the party says, hey, be nice to your sister. You're going to be sleeping on her couch after your first divorce.
Yo, the part that damn near had me passing out was where young Bill was underneath his parents' bed when they had their argument, and then when they were having sex, and then young Bill catches a glimpse that no kid should ever see of their parents, and that's all I'll ever say. And then it's a sight that will haunt him for the rest of his life. And then, like, the next scene, the parents are trying to be all coy. It's like, oh, I see you eating a lot there, Bill. And then Bill's like, Bill's father's like, yeah, I got quite the workout. And they're all like giggling, like all being coy. And then all of a sudden, Bill just vomits all over his plate, like, wah. That shit had me.
Keep watching.
Yo,
keep watching. Did you get to the point where when the poor kid was holding up the white sheet? He goes, "This is what my dad wears to his ghost meetings."
I did see that. Shit. Oh, and then you have Sam Rockwell, who voices his next door neighbor Vic, the hippie. Oh my God, yo, that I can't wait to finish the second season of that show.
Finish it. You can get through it quick.
Yeah, I will say though, like, Bill's his boss is a complete fat douche.
Yeah.
Although I will say that it was sweet justice where he dropped his keys in his car in front of him, but he's so fat he couldn't bend down the steering wheel, so he had him trapped there. Oh man, that was great.
I was not expecting you to watch that. I thought you was actually going to start Sons of Anarchy, which probably won't happen.
It's a new year. I'll get to it. It'll be my Game of Thrones gap. Have a little faith, man. I got to watch F is for Family finally.
Yeah. Tyrone's watching. Happy birthday, brother.
Yes, happy birthday, Tyrone. Yeah, man. Oh man.
I'm glad you watched it. I'm so glad you watched it.
Yeah, just it's just so much good stuff, man, and so much good stuff I just watched. So yeah. Also one more film that I did watch. It's an older film, but I've been meaning to watch it for years, but I finally got to. It's a film called Hardcore. It's a film that came out in 1979. It's directed by Paul Schrader, and if you type in like hardcore meme or like hardcore George C. Scott, who's the main actor, you'll find some memes on that, because like the whole film, George C. Scott in the film Hardcore, he plays this guy who's like this very religious father, who lives in this rural community of Grand Rapids, Michigan, and his daughter runs away. His young adult daughter runs away, and he wants to find out why. So he hires a private detective. He finds out that his daughter is involved in some porno movies, and there's a scene.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, and there's a scene where George C. Scott and the private detective, played by Peter Boyle. Peter Boyle takes him to this abandoned theater. He goes, "Well, I did find out where your daughter is, and there's something you should see, and it's not very, and I don't think you'll like it." So, yeah, that's one of the many spots.
I just Google it.
Yeah, that was a real place, by the way. So there's a scene where George C. Scott he's sitting in this abandoned theater, and the private detective shows him the footage of his daughter in this porno movie, and George C. Scott's looking at the screen. He's like, "Oh my God, no, turn it off, turn it off!"
Like he's watching his daughter
Like
get plowed
by two dudes.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah. So like.
Something no father should ever see.
Yeah, and like that scene alone was actually the source of many memes. So if you go on YouTube,
I googled it.
Yeah, and it's like turn it off, and the whole movie you kind of see him going on his one man quest to rescue his daughter from the seedy porn industry of the 1970s, because the film came out in 1979, and the film was a trip. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yep. That's the one. George C. Scott watches Ghostbusters trailer 2.
I'm not gonna see it because of the delay, but
yeah, that's the screen cap. But yeah, Hardcore was a really interesting film, and yeah, I recommend it for anyone who wants to.
Okay, they can see it.
Who wants to check out an older film, especially by Paul Schrader, who also wrote one of my all-time favorite films by Martin Scorsese, Taxi Driver.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so check it out, Hardcore, an oldie but goodie. So yeah, that's pretty much what I've been doing. Yeah, and during this hiatus, and I guess before we get to the question of the week, should we run down the news and headlines?
A few of them, yeah.
Yeah. So we got some news and headlines to run down this week. First off, coming out hot off the presses, this past Sunday was the 75th annual Golden Globe Awards.
I call it like the tail end of Oprah's speech.
Yeah,
which was very good. I end up seeing it later on. And
yeah.
Big ups to Oprah.
Oh yeah, Oprah Winfrey. She won the Cecil B. DeMille Award, Lifetime Achievement Award. So big ups to her. She had an excellent speech. Also, Seth Meyers had a great opening monologue as well.
I like Seth Meyers. He's cool.
Oh, yeah. So the big winners of the 75th Golden Globe Awards this past Sunday was 3 billboards outside Ebbing, Missouri. It won 4 Golden Globes for Best Motion Picture Drama, Best Actress for Frances McDormand, Best Supporting Actor, Sam Rockwell, and Best Screenplay from Martin McDonagh, who also directed.
Thought of you once I saw that it won.
Yeah. The Shape of Water also won 2 Golden Globes, one for Best Director from Guillermo del Toro, big ups to him, and Best Original Score by Alexandre Desplat, which has, and The Shape of Water does have a wonderful score, so check that out on Spotify. Gary Oldman won Best Actor in a Motion Picture Drama for Darkest Hour. Gary Oldman, one of our great actors. James Franco also won Best Actor in a Comedy for The Disaster Artist, playing Tommy Wiseau. Allison Janney won for I, Tonya for Best Supporting Actress. Coco won Best Animated Feature Film.
Did you cry?
I did not cry when it won. Give me a break. But there was no better choice. Also for television, The Handmaid's Tale won 2 awards for Best TV Series Drama and Best Actress in a TV Series Drama, Elizabeth Moss. Sterling K. Brown made history for winning for Best Actor in a TV Series Drama for This Is Us.
Randall.
Yep. Sterling K. Brown, he became the first black actor to win this award for Best Actor in a TV Series Drama for Golden Globes. Also, Aziz Ansari also made Golden Globes history for winning for Master of None for Best...
I keep hearing that's very good, Master of None.
Yeah, I heard it was good. I haven't seen it yet myself. He won for Best Actor in a TV Series, musical or comedy, he becoming the first Asian actor to win that award. Also, Big Little Lies on HBO won for Best TV Movie or Limited Series, and also won for Best Actress Nicole Kidman, and Best Supporting Actor Alexander Skarsgård, and Best Supporting Actress Laura Dern. And
Pennywise is winning awards. Wait, is that Alexander Skarsgård who played Pennywise in the new It?
No, that was Bill Skarsgård.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I knew it was in that family.
Yep. So yeah, big ups to the Golden Globe winners. And I will say this though, off the strength of Oprah Winfrey's speech, there has been some talk already of Oprah Winfrey going for a presidential run in 2020.
The Boondocks predicted it.
They did. They really did, actually. I gotta say this though, just as a quick aside.
Oh Jesus!
I love Oprah Winfrey ever since The Color Purple. You know, great actress, great media mogul. But with that being said, no celebrities should run for the office of the presidency of the United States of America. If you have no political or military experience, you have no goddamn business running for the highest office in the land. Sit your ass down and get some local political experience. Start off locally as mayor, governor, alderman, congressperson, lieutenant governor, something. You can't shoot your way to the top. Nobody. I can't.
Reagan did.
What?
Ronald Reagan was an actor first.
Yeah, but he was governor of California first. He was an actor, then he became governor, then he became president. So he did it properly.
Yeah, that's
right.
Right.
I mean, I can't walk.
That I didn't know.
Yeah. Well, now you know history.
Hey, you learn something new every day.
Yeah. For example, I can't walk into a McDonald's and ask for a managerial position like that. No, I got to work from the fry cook position and work my way up to managerial or assistant manager. All right. Nobody can walk into the WWE and become the WWE World Heavyweight Champion just like that. Well, okay, that's kind of a wonky.
Oh, okay, think about it. Think about that one.
It's kind of a wonky example, but you get my point. All right. Nobody starts at the top.
Can we get off with politics now?
All right. Yeah, that's all I got to say.
Calm your ass down.
I just had to get that off my chest.
Happy thoughts.
Yeah, happy thoughts. Okay. Speaking of happy thoughts, Lindsay Lohan. Lindsay Lohan wants to play Batgirl in Joss Whedon's upcoming Batgirl film for the DCEU. What'd you think of that? Lindsay Lohan as Barbara Gordon.
I mean, sure. Me not being a DC fan as it is, and they're already going to they're already on a downward spiral. Shit, at this point, why the hell not?
I mean, to be fair,
I did when I posted the article, shout outs to Cowboy Bill, he said he thinks that Victoria Justice should be the one to play Batgirl.
Yeah, why not?
At this point, why not?
Yeah.
Who cares?
I mean,
they got to do something.
Well, I think that DCEU they're actually gonna officially reboot the whole universe with the Flashpoint movie. So they're gonna use the Flash to go back in time and like erase the current universe and keep Wonder Woman, and then it's just move forward and pretend like BVS and Suicide Squad never happened and Justice League.
Oh, it happened. We will never forget.
Yeah. But hey, you know what, Lindsay Lohan? You know what? I say why not? I think it's a bold choice. And I think if Lindsay Lohan can pull it off as Barbara Gordon, sure, I'll be there. Why not? And Joss Whedon, he's a good writer and director.
Nick Katrina says, "Yeah, I don't want no Kanye West in 2020. I trust Will Smith. He's got acting and government experience." Cough, Men in Black.
Oh man, yeah. And Eddie Ortiz also said DCEU needs to do Flashpoint movie and reset. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. And also, this is in our next headline. This is one for John Haponic, and I'm sure John Haponic would love this headline here. Netflix's Bright is getting a sequel.
I've heard that, and I never saw Bright. I've been wanting to watch it. I just haven't had the chance to.
I've had the chance to, but I just couldn't drum up enough interest to do so.
I've heard good things about it.
Well, despite scores of bad reviews from critics, Bright...
fuck them bougie critics.
Oh, come on now. Bright was the #1 movie on Netflix in over 190 countries since its release nearly 3 weeks ago on December 22nd. In its first 3 days of release, Nielsen reports an average of 11 million U.S. Netflix subscribers watched it. Now, when it comes to that, I gotta say this. When they say that 11 million subscribers watched it, do they mean that they watched the whole film? Did they watch it in part, or did they just, or was it a case where like they turned it on by accident and like, oh, I don't want to watch that, and then like 2 seconds later they watch something else? Does that still count? I don't know.
No, that's a good question.
Yeah, so we got to dig deeper on that. Bright cost Netflix $90 million to make, which is the most money that they've spent on a project as of yet. But
Which isn't a lot.
yeah, it's not a lot. Well, for
Compared to what we're used to seeing. Like, we're used to watching, like, these big budget superhero movies. So, compared to what we're used to, that wasn't what we're used to. It's not really a lot.
Yeah.
I think, the first Deadpool was, 60 mil?
about 50, 60 million.
Yeah.
John Haponic says that Bright was unwatchable. He did watch the movie. He did tell me how awful it was.
I really trust what John Aponic said.
No,
We have our disputes.
No, I mean, I got to give it up to John on this one. I mean, this movie has had terrible reviews from critics. It currently sits at 28% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Correct. I mean, usually Rotten Tomatoes is correct. BVS,
Yeah, BVS, Suicide Squad,
Iron Fist,
Justice League. Yeah. But
mostly pretty much anything DC puts out.
yeah, since 2013. Yeah, with Man of Steel. But yeah, man. You know what? I'll give Bright a shot.
It's worth a shot.
So just so I can review it on the podcast.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not too eager though. That's all I gotta say. Also, another headline that should get people eager is that Warner Brothers names Walter Hamada as the new DC Films president. Hamada, he worked as a production executive at WB's New Line Cinema division for over 10 years, and he worked on such films as The Conjuring and its spin-off series Annabelle. Hamada also worked on It from last year and The Gallows. As DC Films president, Walter Hamada will oversee all of DC's comic book movie adaptations, and he is replacing former co-presidents John Berg and Jeff Johns. So, potential step in the right direction, it seems.
Keyword: potential.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, you know what? I'm still holding out hope that DC will get its act together, and I'm hoping that they do because, with Disney buying up Fox recently, we need some great competition, and WB is the only viable competition that's out there. So they need to step their game up in a major way.
Yeah.
Also,
Universal.
Well, I don't think Universal has any. Well, they do have the Hulk as like the
rights.
The rights.
The film rights. So.
Yeah. But I don't know. Maybe Image. Well, I don't know, but we'll see. Some other news here. Gail Simone. She's gonna be writing.
Gail Simone Helms.
Gail Simone helms the new Domino series for Marvel.
I thought that was her name. Sorry.
No. Gail Simone, she's going to be the head writer of a new Domino comic series from Marvel, and this will be her first published work from Marvel since Agent X in 2003. Simone has mostly worked with DC Comics on titles such as Batgirl, Birds of Prey, Secret Six, and, of course, Wonder Woman. Domino will make her live-action debut in Deadpool 2 this June, and she'll be portrayed by Zazie Beetz.
I'll give it a shot.
Yeah.
I'll read it.
Yeah, sure. I will say that Marvel, like as far as their comics go, like it's not as interesting as DC Rebirth, but you know what? With this Domino series coming out, especially written by Gail Simone, I will give it a shot.
And not to mention, I've been reading the Punisher versus Deadpool. Mm-hmm. It's actually not that bad. It's what you expect out of the two.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like they well, I still got one more issue left, so when I'm done with that, I'll give them to a full review.
Nice. And also too with DC Rebirth, like I said, if you guys have not been following any of the DC Rebirth titles like Batman, Wonder Woman, Superman, Flash, Green Arrow, Green Lanterns, you guys are missing out on some quality comics, dude. Because Rebirth is killing it, and right now, I just started their conclusion to the DC Rebirth. They started their new 12-part miniseries called Doomsday Clock. and I got the first 2 issues from Rococo's just before the storm hit.
You went before? Oh, yeah, you did tell me you was going.
Yeah, and Doomsday Clock it actually officially introduces the Watchmen into the DC universe, so to wrap up the whole Rebirth storyline. And so far it's been great. Doomsday Clock has been really great. And
did you start Saga Volume 8?
Not yet.
Oh, okay.
Not yet, but I will. So yeah, get on the DC Rebirth train if you haven't done so already. And that segues into our final headline here. Brian Michael Bendis is now officially a DC Comics writer. Brian Michael Bendis made the announcement on his Twitter page on January 2nd. He is wrapping up several Marvel titles on his way out towards DC, including Invincible Iron Man issue 600, Miles Morales, Spider-Man 2, The Defenders, and Jessica Jones. Bendis has been writing for Marvel for over 17 years, with the debut of Ultimate Spider-Man in 2000. So this is a major boon for DC Comics.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Godspeed.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Hey, like I said, like DC Comics, when it comes to their comics and trades, they've been killing it. Like Marvel can't even touch DC when it comes to comics.
They have good stuff.
Oh,
Marvel does have good stuff. Secret Empires, but I've been trying to like get the main series of that, and I just can't find it.
Yeah,
but I've heard that's been like really good.
Oh yeah, like with Brian Michael Bendis, like doing great work with Marvel, and now applying his craft and trade to DC. We're gonna get some hot fire in the months to come, for sure.
Sure.
So like right now is the perfect time to get back on the DC Comics train. Like you can ignore the DCEU movies; they're hot garbage. But the comics themselves, like the trades and the series that I just mentioned, get on those. If you're a comics fan, even with a casual interest, get on those titles as soon as you can.
All right.
Yeah. So that wraps it up for the news and headlines. And John Haponic, real quick, he did mention Bendis did the definitive Daredevil comics run. Yes, he did.
Right.
And he had it, and he said Bendis had an amazing 40-issue run. Absolutely, he did. Brian Michael Bendis, he definitely is the definitive Daredevil comics writer. Absolutely.
Good shit. Yeah. So now, question of the week. So we didn't have one since the last episode. So, and we can't always go on to talk about the best. Mm-hmm. Sometimes we like to dig into the worst. So,
okay.
What was the worst superhero movie that you have ever seen?
That I've ever seen?
Worst.
Catwoman.
That was bad.
Yeah, Catwoman. I actually sat down and I watched the whole goddamn thing on television. And you know what? Halle Berry's always been my cinematic bae.
She was there just because Catwoman, Halle Berry. Let's put them together and let's try to make some money.
Yeah, and this is the movie that she made 3 years after she won her Oscar for Monsters Ball. This is what you follow up with?
My Monsters Ball.
Chappelle show. God damn it, Carl.
You should, yeah, but you know what? You knew it was coming.
I didn't know it was coming, actually. But yeah, Catwoman was the absolute worst. Like, you had, visual effects that looked like they came straight out of a PS2 game. You had a nonsensical plot which involved an evil cosmetics company. And then Sharon Stone, she applied this makeup which turned her face into stone, and she had to apply it constantly, and that kind of gave her superpowers, I think. Which I don't know. This movie was a goddamn mess. It felt like a movie. It felt like a parody movie that you would see on Funny or Die, except it was serious and had a multi-million-dollar budget.
Her in leather. That's all you need for marketing. Pretty much.
That costume looked ugly as fuck, dude. You gotta admit. When I think of Catwoman, I think of Michelle Pfeiffer. I think of the animated version. I think of the Arkham version with the skin tight catsuit. Even Anne Hathaway from Dark Knight Rises. But Halle Berry's Catwoman costume, come on, that did not do her justice at all.
She did it for the chat. Mine's 2003's Daredevil.
Really?
I hated that movie.
Explain further, please.
It was just awful. You got Matt Murdock, who was supposed to be a good lawyer, who loses every case. The fighting was just like the lowest budget Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon you could ever see.
Kind of was.
Like, okay, Eric Banner's Hulk was pretty weak too. It was.
Yeah, it was, Nick.
It was. And it's like Jennifer Garner's Elektra just wasn't. You're not Elektra. You're like Jean from down the street. Like, I just saw nothing. Like, it just didn't do nothing for me. I fell asleep.
Well,
Luckily, I was working at a movie theater at that time and did not pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like, I left BVS pissed off.
Wow. You know what? Well, what did you think of Michael Clark Duncan, R.I.P., as Wilson Fisk, the Kingpin?
To me, he just wasn't Kingpin. Like, I know, like, a lot of people did like, a lot of people did like him as Kingpin, but he just, I don't know, he didn't really capture it for me.
Yeah, I can see that.
D'Onofrio definitely, like, he owns that role.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. When I think of Kingpin now, I think of D'Onofrio.
D'Onofrio.
Yeah. Oh, what about Colin Farrell as Bullseye?
Oh, my God.
That was a terrible villain.
Oh, my God, in many ways.
But I will say, like, Nick,
Elektra movie was crap.
I will say that
I didn't even bother. Listen, I hated Daredevil so much I didn't even bother watching Elektra.
well,
Ghost Riders 1 and 2 didn't like any.
well, I haven't seen the Ghost Rider movies.
I fell asleep through those two.
Yeah, Nicolas Cage though. I mean, I should watch it for the Nicolas Cage factor, just see how what crazy performance he pulls off. But
There's some good Nicolas Cage movies.
Oh, yeah.
I did like National Treasure.
I haven't seen National Treasure. But I will say, like, in fairness to Nick Lowry's point, the director's cut of Daredevil, it wasn't bad. It wasn't that bad.
I don't even want to give it a chance. It just left that much of a bad taste.
Yeah, and plus, like, we already have a great Daredevil with Charlie
Yeah,
Cox, in the
exactly.
Marvel Netflix universe. So,
Oh, then there's also Dolph Lundgren's Punisher.
oh god, that was trash.
And then there was a Captain America in the 80s.
Oh, it was in 1990.
90, yeah.
Yeah, there was a part where he stole somebody's car for no reason. Yeah. Oh, of course, Batman and Robin. I mean, you got to mention Batman and Robin as one of the worst comic book films.
That was.
I mean, Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze. Talk about miscasting, though. Yeah. The Iceman cometh. Sing louder, sing. What killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
For the check.
Oh, that was strictly for the paycheck. Yeah.
Man. So, yeah, that will be on social medias within a day or two. So you can email your answers to us or email anything. Bat nipples.
Yes, the bat nipples. That was a Joel Schumacher touch there.
It was.
Yeah.
Why did they have to have a close-up on their asses, though?
I think that was a Joel Schumacher touch.
That definitely was.
Yeah. And then plus, like, Alicia Silverstone as Batgirl.
It was the 90s.
Alfred Pennyworth's niece? No. That was wrong.
Right? It was wrong, but I'm like, Alicia Silverstone. It was the 90s.
Yeah. Clueless.
Clueless.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Street Fighter with Van Damme. That wasn't great.
Yeah, that wasn't.
But it does have people do consider it like a cult classic.
Yeah, and
I think Aris liked it.
Yeah, he did. Well, or if he did, I think Aris said that he has like a soft spot for Street Fighter the movie.
It's because he's a Street Fighter fan.
Yeah, but come on, like even Aris has to admit that, like, All American Guile played by with the muscles from Brussels. Come on now.
Yeah. So yeah, like I said, it will be on our. It will be on. I never can believe the came without that back card.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god. Okay. All right. That will be on our social medias within a day or two. Also, you can email us at codexprimepodcast@gmail.com.
Mm-hmm.
Send us a 5-star review on iTunes,
Yep.
SoundCloud, Google Play,
YouTube,
Instagram,
Instagram,
Facebook, Twitter.
Yeah. And yes, the Chun-Li movie was garbage too. Yes. Street.
Okay, yeah, that was bad.
Yeah.
That was bad.
Yeah. So, what's she? Stephanie Brown is that a DC Comics character?
I believe so. I don't know.
Maybe a variation of Batgirl?
Yeah.
Maybe. Good question. But yes, thank you all for watching and thank you all for listening. We will catch you next week for episode 105. Once again, Happy New Year to everybody. Hopefully your 2018 will be a much better year than your 2017. We got more hot stuff coming down the pike. Any other final words, Carl?
We got a lot of, like you said, you got a lot of stuff coming on. We can't really talk about yet, but all you got to do is just keep following and stay tuned up.
Absolutely. So until then, we will catch you on the flip. Peace out, nerds.
Later.